Apparently, Rollo has talked with Lawrence on his X stream right now. I'm not going to comment on Lauren's personal life because a bunch of shit. Here's something that I'll say that I don't know if this made it to the Blair White interview or not. Here is something that I will say as somebody that knows a lot about that situation. Almost every single thing I've seen posted by Milo, Nick Fuentes, and Rollo talking about the situation is completely wrong. It is very interesting to me to see how many people are willing to make up a ton of shit about somebody that they don't like when they do not have all the details. And it's one of the reasons why, because this happens over and over again, it's one of the reasons why when people start gossiping about other people, unless they're actually going to show receipts, don't believe anything, because people love to gossip. And people really love to gossip about shit that they have no idea about. Why would I just lie like that? Wouldn't it be super easy to disprove? When it comes to really personal matters like that, the reason why people are incentivized to lie is because nobody really wants to leak more like personal details about themselves. That's like just generally true and for most people. Like you can make up lies about people's really personal relationships, and oftentimes they won't say anything about it at all because they don't want to like leak all their personal shit. How confident are you on what you know? 100% confident, trust me. Funny, Rollo told me the same thing. Yeah, but the difference between me and Rollo is, one, I don't have a track record of just making up about people. Generally, I'm pretty sure everything I've ever said is generally stuff that is true. If I'm wrong about something, I'm wrong about something. I don't usually just lie gossip about people, unless I'm obviously lie gossiping about people. Somebody's about to bring up the Hassan clip. Number one, and number two, Rollo has a, compared to my track record of being generally correct, Rollo has a track record of making a ton up. Even just recently when we were reviewing those videos, for instance, here's another piece of first-hand information that I know is incorrect. Rollo claimed, with no evidence, and he'll never have evidence, that some Michael guy was paying Abba and Preach and Hassan, I think, or somebody else. Rollo is claiming that this guy was paying people to make hit pieces on him. Nobody's paying anybody to make hit pieces on Rollo, because in the grand scheme of things, nobody cares about Rollo. Rollo's barely relevant, like even in the red pill space. He's like a small player now. So yeah.
So there you have it. Something going on with Destiny and Lauren. I'll let you guys sort that one out for yourself. But according to my books, there's a kid involved. And
it's mushmalaha, mushmala. It's taken many years, but we've finally found the secret daughter. Ladies and gentlemen, we've found her.
Maybe Chud Logic didn't want to get into that. He was trying to be a little bit more discreet, or maybe didn't have the information that I do. But according to ex-husband, there was a child produced.
I wish, I can't. The problem is I can't say anything. You'll probably never know the extent of how retarded his statement is. In order for him to believe what he believes, there is such a hilariously stupid line of things that he's followed to get there. But it's like, it's not my story to tell. For like every bet him 100K right now, sure, if he wants, but he won't take that bet with me, obviously. I would bet him obviously any amount of money because I know what's possible or not. But yeah, not to lie, but it's been a while since I saw Lauren Southern. Did you have good interactions with her? Is she worth the time on stream? I think Lauren was one of the most fun people to have on stream, but she had like a ton of like weird personal shit. And without getting like too many details, I think it's like pretty obvious to see for our online stuff. I think for a while she was undecided whether she wanted to have a big online presence or not. So I think she's finally figuring out that stuff or working it out. So maybe she'll be on in the future, but it just depends on where she lands on her desire to do future internet content. I think she's been like very not schizo, but like back and forth on it over the past like, I think like 6-ish months.
Yeah, very disappointing. And Rollo Tomassi, you're a bitch. Just want to let you know that.
True. You just had like a 4-hour gossip stream on me and then on a friend of mine. So like that, he gossips more than any girl I've ever met in my entire life.
I've never seen any man that claims to be the godfather of the space go and start more drama online than any, like you run your mouth more than a girl does, more than I do.
Legit does, more than anybody I've ever seen in my life. Like I didn't notice this until I was hanging out with somebody, I think this is like a month ago, and I was like, oh, Rollo just tweeted this thing like 2 days ago, let me find it real quick. And then I bring up his Twitter. And I'm like scrolling. I'm like, oh my fucking God, this guy tweets so much. And I noticed that this guy tweets like 50 times a day at least. And there's so much like drama of like, oh yeah, this guy's doing this behind the scenes. And also, just because I know personally like some of the people he talks about, half of it is just totally fucking fake.
Yes.
And then like 70% of it is like half truths.
Right.
And then like 30% of it is like, a couple things that he might be right on just because everybody fucking knows about it. Right. But yeah, it's actually insane. That guy is a drama queen and a gossip queen too. Yes. Holy shit.
Yes, all of his. I hope he watches this, but I want to say all of your fucking stats are from like Prohibition. Please get updated with the times. It's getting agitating, and I can't believe there's even a following for that. It doesn't even make any sense. Get it together, Brett Michaels. You're annoying the shit out of me. So shots fired, and I had to say it. I'm sorry. So, damn, I don't know if I can talk about that with her.
What?
Fuck.
Oh,
there was a girl. There was a girl that like. So that week in specific, so like Melina dragged him on the whatever pod, which is perfect. And there was a girl that I recently became, it was like trauma bonding almost. And she reached out to me after she saw the video with MLD. I'm not going to specifically name her, I guess, just to courtesy, because I don't really know how comfortable she is about it. But he legit, like, he was such a dick on that podcast with this other wannabe fresh and fit guy. And next thing you know, this girl's walking off they kicked her off because she was just sitting there to cry because she didn't know what to do. But it was because they kept, like, MLD was, like, showing signs of, like, being an abusive and gaslighting everything. Okay. And that was the beginning signs of him. Like, she mentioned, like, how she saw, like, oh, this guy must be an abuser, da-da-da. After seeing what I did to him on Valuetainment and other people posting all this stuff, it was confirmed that signs of an abuser was all around and we were just choosing to ignore, which I don't understand why we platform these types of people. I think that's what really confuses me, that there's actually people supporting him.
I think that is a huge indictment of the character of a lot of these people. So, for instance, like, Rollo is an annoying, gossipy fucking bitch, but like, I don't think he actually has like any evil skeletons in his closet. At least not that I've ever heard of. But the people that he defends, he defends actual trash people, like Donovan Sharp. I think is garbage. The MLD guy is garbage. Like, he'll go to bat for all these dudes, and I was like, what the is wrong with you guys? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Again, saying that I'm a felon, that you wouldn't debate me, but then you associate yourself with Donovan Sharp and MLD. Very funny, you old fart. Very funny. So I don't really know how people, again, I guess, like, unraveling everything, finding out how everybody operates. Because before moving here, everyone's like, dude, that's so sick. That's so sick. And then I meet all these people, I'm like, wow, you guys suck.
Yeah.
So
people want to know how you feel about Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate? Okay, so I don't go into the core of Andrew Tate, but I guess the surface shit that I have seen, I guess, like, the core values, I agree with some of the things he says, because I guess from like a traditional-ish standpoint, but I think it's too extreme for what I believe in, and also I feel like it's like a business strategy the way that he does it. So part of me is torn. I'm torn at, like, is this guy just like putting on this like facade to sell something, or is it actually believes in? So it's like 50-50. As far as the things that were claimed or accusations, I don't know the actual details, because I think at a certain point I was like, we're like grown people doing homework on this guy. I don't really care about what he's doing with his life.
Sure. So, okay.
Yeah.
I definitely think he's a fucking sex trafficker. I think he's going to get convicted for it 100%. We'll see what happens. As far as his messaging, it's always like a really hard thing, because like I'll see some clips in long form where like it sounds like the meat of what he's getting at is like pretty good, and then in other things it's like like horrible.